Hello everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can professionally edit your photos in Lightroom Classic. I'll show you my workflow from start to finish, and if you stick around to the end of the video, you can see a couple of bonus edits done in Photoshop that add some final polishing details. So whether you are brand new to using Lightroom or have tons of experience, hopefully you can learn something new by watching this video and can then incorporate it into your own art and photography. I have the photo I want to edit open in Lightroom and I'm on the Develop tab. I like to start with the lens correction section, and because I shot this photo in a RAW format, when I click the box next to the Enable Profile Corrections, the information will automatically be updated depending on the type of camera and lens that was used to take the photo, which is very helpful. If the information is incorrect or the image is not in a RAW format, you can always update it yourself. Clicking the eye icon will show a before and after. Now that I'm done with lens adjustments, I'm going to open the basic panel and the current color profile is set to Adobe Color. You can change the profile if you like depending on the type of photo you are editing, but I'm going to leave it on Adobe Color. The white balance is set to As Shot, and you can adjust this by moving the temp slider left or right. As for the tint, I'm going to bring that over to the right a little bit. And with all editing, the amount you change and adjust depends on your own style and what you think looks best. It's good to watch other people so you can learn, but you don't have to do exactly what they do. I'm going to bring up the exposure very slightly because it doesn't need a lot, but I want the flowers looking nice and bright in the sunlight. I will also increase the amount of contrast, which I think complements this style of photo of warm flowers against a cool natural background. Moving on to the highlights, I'm decreasing them quite a bit to bring back a little detail in some of the blown out areas of the flower petals. I'm increasing the shadows to get some more texture on the petals and not really worrying about the background shadows because I will be masking those darker later. I'm going to adjust the whites up a bit until some spots of pure white start to poke through out from all that darkness. And in the opposite direction, I'm making my blacks much darker until I get some spots that are completely black. In those areas of pure white or black, the photo has lost all detail, but that just goes into your personal style and what you want your finished image to look like. I'm going to bump the vibrance just a little and decrease saturation slightly. Already, this is looking much better than when I started. To enhance the colors even more, I'm going to open up the color mixer and starting with the red, modify each color until basically I think it looks good. When mixing these colors, there is no exact number on the slider that will automatically make the color look amazing. It's going to be a process where you just have to adjust each one and check out the results. A little trial and error until you find something that you like and pick a result that fits your style. I would try to avoid the extremes of either side because those rarely look good. Every photo is going to have a different mix of colors and lighting, so just play around with the sliders until you have something you are happy with. Currently, all of these adjustments are being applied at a global scale, but you can mask off the flowers or background if you want to manipulate just those areas. Which is what I'm going to do next with a clarity mask on the flowers. In this case, I want the background of the photo to remain blurry, so there is no need to apply any type of clarity adjustment to it. I'm going to create a new mask by selecting the subject, and because of the difference in colors and focus, Lightroom is easily able to mask the orchids and isolate them from the background. With the mask selected, I will now use the effects panel and increase the clarity slightly, just to enhance some of the details in the flower. Minor tweaks and adjustments will lead to better overall results at the end. Now that I have all my colors corrected and looking how I want them, it's time to move on to some dodge and burning. And with this particular photo, I think a radial mask will do very well. The background of this photo is already blurry and out of focus because it's not the subject of the photo. In this case, the background is there just to give some color contrast between the pink of the flowers and the green of the leaves behind them. Even though the background is blurry, it's still a little busy and I don't want it to draw any attention away from the subject, which is the flowers. So, by putting a radial filter around the shape of the flowers and inverting the selection, I'm able to adjust the lighting of the background by bringing down the exposure. And once I do that, you can really direct the viewer's eye to the subject of the photo, and the background is no longer fighting for attention. Now the green leaves and plants are just really nice abstract shapes of green, projecting the pink orchids forward, creating even more depth to the image. And now, if I quickly jump back and forth between the original raw image and our newly edited Lightroom photo, you can see how much better it looks by making those edits and adjustments. I finished my Lightroom workflow, but there are a couple of fixes I still want to make, and I think they are handled better in Photoshop. So if you go up to Photo, Edit in Photoshop, it will automatically open your Lightroom edited file in Photoshop, and you can continue working on it. There are a couple of spots on the flowers where dust and debris is caught by the petals, and some of the areas have slight damage to them. With the healing brush, I'm going to sample some other locations of the photo and try to blend them over these areas that I think need to be fixed. There is no one-step solution for this either, something you just have to try and see how it looks. If the edit is very noticeable and immediately stands out to your eye, try going back and sampling a new area with your blend. All of this is personal preference and how much of the image do you want to change. In this case, I'm going to fix some of the small damage areas and remove the debris, but I want to leave the divots in the flower petals because I like how they look and that each flower has one. It creates even more of a pairing between them. And with that, now you have a professionally edited photo and hopefully learned something new that you can use with your own photography. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe to see more in the future.